Good morning, Britain. Ukraine braces under renewed Russian air campaign as the First Lady tells this programme it's time for Putin to face trial.
We all have to want it, and I believe the whole world wants it.
Speaking exclusively to Good Morning Britain, Olena Zelenska describes her horror over the kidnapping of thousands of Ukrainian children and pointed threats to her husband. Meanwhile, the Foreign Secretary is in Washington to meet America's top diplomat for fresh talks on support for Ukraine.
The Met Police says it regrets that 6 arrested anti-monarchy campaigners couldn't protest during the coronation, as all charges against them are dropped.
Well, the head of the campaign group Republic told us he'll be taking legal action of his own in the first test of controversial new laws to clamp down on disruptive protests.
The doctor won't see you now. Why you'll need to go to the chemist for an earache or sore throat under new plans.
And the King and Queen pay a sincere and heartfelt thanks to the millions who marked the coronation as the official photos of the crowned couple are released.
And it's time to party. Let's get it started. I'm here in Liverpool ahead of tonight's first live Eurovision semi-final, meeting the Ukrainian entry, hoping to bring the contest back home.
Hi, great to see you. A much brighter day today, but any showers that crop up could contain the odd rumble of thunder, which means lightning strikes for some. All that and more on Good Morning Britain.
Tuesday, 9th of May, 2023, live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Susanna, Reid and Ed Halls.
Good morning, Britain. It has just gone 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. And it's one of those mornings when international politics and culture are kind of interwoven, aren't they? Because I've done an exclusive interview with the First Lady of Ukraine after I met her in Kyiv back in February to mark a year since the war broke out. We met up again at a site in the West Country where, under the eyes of the British forces, Ukrainian recruits are being trained. And, of course, Olena Zelenska was in the country for the coronation of the king, but met a number of these civilian recruits. And it comes in the week that we host Eurovision on behalf of Ukraine.
It's true, and the people of Liverpool, I think the whole of the United Kingdom will all be cheering for Ukraine on Saturday. It was interesting to me that when people saw the pictures during the coronation of the yellow and blue carpeting, lots of people thought instinctively we're showing support for Ukraine. That wasn't what it was about, but it shows that there's something kind of deep in the British psyche. But after 14 months, for the people of Ukraine, for the First Lady, for her family, for the President, I mean, the stress, the pressure they've been under day after day for so long, how did you feel that she and personally was holding up?
Yeah, she looked weary of it, and although, of course, she is a representation of the resilience and the perseverance and the determination of the Ukrainian people, I can imagine, you know, that it is just draining that this is going on. And, of course, last week there was that drone attack on the Kremlin. Russia blames Ukraine for that. And as a result, the former Russian President Medvedev said that it's time for Zelensky and his clique to be eliminated. Well, I mean, as his wife and the mother of his children, how on earth does that make her feel? So we've done this remarkable interview with her. After 7 o'clock, you'll see the full piece, including these 2 remarkable civilians. One young woman of 24, she's just 3 years older than my son, who has signed up for the Ukrainian army. And then a chap in his 40s who, until just a couple of weeks ago, was working at an advertising agency in Kyiv and said, I need to join the Ukrainian army, because if I don't do it for my people, I'm expecting someone to do it for me. And, you know, you just think, what are they going through?
Well, it's their fight, it's their cause, it's their country. And I see it with the Ukrainian family who live with us. I mean, they are absolutely as determined and anxious to make sure everybody else in Britain knows that the fight is going on and they're not giving up, and, you know, that they need continuing support. I don't feel as though there's any relenting there at all, but the stress is huge.
Exactly, and the stress on the families of those who do sign up and join up to play their part. Our main news this morning is that Ukraine is braced for a fresh wave of attacks, because it is feared that today Russia could plan a spectacular bombardment to coincide with its annual Victory Day.
Meanwhile, the UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly is in Washington, D.C. to reaffirm the US and UK's long-term commitment to Ukraine.
Well, I met with the First Lady of Ukraine as part of her visit to the UK for the coronation last week. She told me the world must come together to hold Vladimir Putin and others to account for the kidnap of thousands of children.